You are about to do the work no one will see. It is early. The house is quiet. The thing in front of you this morning is not glamorous. A few pages, a few problems, a single set of the same reps you did yesterday, and will do again tomorrow. There is no audience here. No applause is scheduled for this hour. This is about where mastery is actually built. Not in the moments anyone watches. Not in the performance, the launch, the day the world finally looks. It is built right here, in the quiet repetition before the day begins, one deliberate rep at a time, by people who decided the unseen hour was the real one. We have a story backwards. We think mastery is revealed in the visible moment, the decisive presentation, the flawless game, the work that finally lands. So we wait for that moment to test ourselves, and we treat the mornings in between as preparation, as the boring part, as the runway, and not the flight. But the visible moment is only a withdrawal. The deposit was made months earlier, in mornings exactly like this one, when no one was counting. Aristotle saw this 23 centuries ago, and he stated it as plainly as a law of physics. Moral virtue, he wrote, comes about as a result of habit. None of the virtues arises in us by nature. We are adapted by nature to receive them, and are made perfect by habit, and in the line that should be carved above every desk. We become just by doing just acts, tempered by doing tempered acts, brave by doing brave acts. Read what that actually claims. There is no courage that exists before brave acts and then expresses itself in them. The brave acts come first in the dark, unwitnessed, and the courage is what accumulates. You're not a disciplined person who therefore practices. You become a disciplined person by practicing this morning when it would be easier not to. The mastery is not the cause of the reps. It is the residue of them. Kobe Bryant understood this so completely that he built a whole life on the hours no one else was awake for. The pre-dawn practice. The 4 a.m. gym, alone, while the rest of the league slept off last night's game. He did not train at that hour to be seen training. He trained then precisely because no one would see it, because that was the one stretch of the day he could be certain he was doing more than everyone he would face. He called it the Mamba mentality, and at its center was a quiet inversion. He did not chase the outcome. He fell in love with the process, the unglamorous craft of it, the same shot taken 10,000 times in an empty room. The scoreboard was downstream. The morning was upstream, and he lived upstream. And here's the part that turns this from grind into something closer to joy. The psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi spent his life studying the state he named flow, the experience of being so absorbed in a difficult, worthwhile effort that action and awareness merge and the self quietly disappears. And he found that flow does not arrive in the easy moments. It arrives when a body or a mind is pushed nearly to the edge of what it can do, by choice, in pursuit of something genuinely hard and worth doing. That is the morning described exactly. The hard task, taken on alone, before the world fragments your attention into 100 pieces. He even pointed at the people he called autotelic, the ones who do the difficult work for the doing itself, rather than the reward at the end. They're not enduring the practice on the way to the prize. The practice is the prize. The merging of action and awareness in disciplined work is the very thing that makes the unseen hour worth living, not just worth surviving. So look at what these three are saying together across philosophy and sport and science. Aristotle says you become what you repeatedly do, and the becoming happens in the act, not before it. Kobe says the becoming happens early, alone, in love with the craft, and indifferent to who is watching. Csikszentmihalyi says that if you give the hard thing your full attention, the hour itself rewards you before any outcome ever arrives. The morning is not the runway to mastery. The morning is where mastery is made. Breakfast is just the line that separates the work that built you from the day that will spend you. So look honestly at the hour you are in right now. The work in front of you is small, and it is unwitnessed, and that is exactly what makes it the real work. The visible test will come, and on that day, you will not rise to the occasion. You will fall to the level of these mornings. You will perform at the height of what you practiced when no one was looking because there is nothing else to draw on. The reservoir is filled here, drop by drop, or it is not filled at all. And notice the strange relief in that. You do not have to feel like a master this morning. You only have to do one more clean rep. This morning, the way Aristotle said, you become brave by single brave acts, and Kobe became Kobe one solitary shot at a time. The pressure of the visible moment lifts because the visible moment was never where it was decided. It was decided here in the quiet, in a choice so small the world would not even notice you making it. That is the secret the early hour keeps. Excellence is not a thing you summon on the big day. It is a thing you deposit on the small ones, before breakfast, before anyone is watching, until the day comes when there is simply too much of it to hide. So begin the unseen work, the way mastery is actually made. I build my craft in the hours no one sees, because those are the only ones that count. I take on the hardest thing first, while my attention is whole and the world is still quiet. I fall in love with the process and let the outcome take care of itself downstream. I do one more clean rep this morning, knowing I become what I repeatedly do. I give the difficult work my full attention and let the hour itself be the reward. I do not wait to feel like a master. I act and let the mastery accumulate. I treat this quiet morning as the real arena and breakfast as the line I cross already built. That is the morning, the work no one sees, becoming the mastery everyone will. Built before breakfast, one deliberate rep at a time, in the hour you almost gave away. If this got you to the desk, stay with this channel. Every morning, the call to build in the quiet before the day begins. And tonight, the other half of the same law, the half this morning depends on, because what the morning spends, the night has to repay. The Confucian sage Mencius taught that even a well-tended mind needs its night to recover what the day wears down. The sleep scientist Matthew Walker shows that the night is when the brain consolidates everything the day practiced, and the teacher Sharon Salzberg reminds us that rest is not the opposite of discipline, but its completion. Come back this evening for the night that restores what this morning's practice bet. Begin disciplined, end reflective. Now build.